we now have the featherweight contest over 6 rounds. And officials for this bout: Judge 1, Daniel Ablomete; Judge 2, David Nete; and Judge 3, Nipe Kote. Now introducing the boxer fighting out from the blue corner, and this is a boxer from the Bridge Boxing Gymnasium under the tutelage of Coach Suleimana Mate, and spotted this evening in the black and white trunks with red gloves and black shoe to match. This is a boxer with a weight of 124.11 pounds. Official record of 7 fights, no defeats, no draw, 7 wins. 6 of the wins came by way of knockout from the Bridge Boxing Gymnasium. Presenting to you the boxer who is also known to be called Bukom Rock, Enoch Tetteh. Switching over to the red corner from the prison service here in Ghana, and this evening spotted in white trunks, red gloves, black and white shoe to match, under the tutelage of Ni Ablo. This is the man with the weight of 128.1 pounds. Is making his debut today, and he knows to be known and to be called Opete. Presenting to you the boxer Ni Ofoli Tetteh. And the man in charge of this fight is Richard Gate, the son of the late, one of the finest ring officials Ghana has ever produced, Fred Gate.
Good evening, gentlemen. You know the rules already. Obey my commandment and obey the rules as
Here we go with the final introductions by Richard Gate before
Are you clear?
the commencement of the bout.
Good luck.
It's 2 Tettehs in action. Ofoli Tetteh representing the prison service, and Enoch Tetteh representing the gym. Ghana Prison Service, don't forget, are in the 6th position on the league table in terms of the Ghana Professional Boxing League. Let's see whether they can better their ranking, as it were, in this bout. And clearly, indications are rife for what we should expect in this bout. Enoch, the shorter of the 2 boxers, obviously would carry the heavier of the punches against his tall, lanky opponent from the prison service. And there he tries to open up with some big jabs, trying to cut the ring to size early enough in this bout. Trains the punches, and Ofoli Tetteh seems to be under some amount of pressure. He goes in for the clinch and has a smile on his face as well.
He knows what is getting into his face, so he needs to be smart there, because Enoch Tetteh looks very poised with me. He started off very strong, and he has seen that Ofoli Tetteh is having difficulties reading his leg movement, so he's really stalking his opponents and cutting the ring and the sizes to the betterment of Enoch Tetteh. But I'm sure Ofoli Tetteh needs to know what Enoch is doing and make sure he uses his long reach to his advantage.
Enoch is delivering some hefty punches on his opponent Ofoli. And Ofoli has had to backpedal for a while. Enoch is unperturbed at the tactics of Ofoli, trying to use the clinch. This is a featherweight contest, scheduled for 6 rounds. And Ofoli came into the ring at a heavier weight than his opponent, 128 pounds, as against Enoch Tetteh's 124.1.
That's a smart move there from Ofoli Tetteh, trying to slow the rhythm of Enoch Tetteh. There goes Enoch again. He lands a right hook that really dazed Ofoli Tetteh there, but Ofoli Tetteh keeps on. Now he has transitioned to the jab game. That is going to be something that if he should get past through this fight, then Ofoli Tetteh needs to use the jab and use his weight advantage. But Enoch still stalks him. And look at a smile from Enoch. He knows what he's doing. He knows it. Anytime he lands the punch, he can feel that Ofoli Tetteh gets wobbly.
Strategy has been set early in this bout. And the bell goes.
Getting himself gingered up, getting into the second round.
Well, here we go. It's round 2 of a bout scheduled for 6. Featherweight contest between the Bridge and the Ghana Prison Service. Prison Service has lost 1 bout so far since the season began. The Bridge have lost 2. And so for Enoch Tetteh, he would want to claw back some pride for his club. That's the Bridge.
Yes, so when you look at the standings and you look at where Bridge is occupying the 9th position with 4 points, and the Prisons is occupying the 6th position with 9 points. So that tells you why and how Enoch Tetteh has taken the fight so seriously, trying to drag up his gym so that he can get some 3 points at the end of this fight. But let's see if Ofoli Tetteh is going to give him, or is going to let it become easy for him to get that 3 points tonight. The featherweight contest, Prison Service Ofoli Tetteh versus Bridge Gym Enoch Tetteh.
Strategy by Ofoli. Well, at least he's keeping him quite active in the fight. Not too sure of the potency of the punches he's delivering.
I'm sure that is a result from what the coach told him. Some pep talk has gone there in his corner. I'm sure they've told him to let his hands go so that Enoch can also find difficulties getting close to him. But as to if the punches are getting some significance on Enoch, that is something we are yet to tell.
Those heavy deliveries and hefty deliveries from Enoch still having a telling effect, having a field day at his opponent Ofoli Tetteh. He has no antidote whatsoever. Enoch is having a field day, and then the prisons officer goes in for the clinch. For how long can he sustain the blasts from Enoch Tetteh?
I think Enoch has sensed blood there, and I'm sure one thing I keep an eye on our boxers is that they should have that finish punch, that finish instinct to kill off fights when they sense blood fighting their opponent. And that is what I'm looking at. If Enoch can do it, he could sense that Ofoli Tetteh is finding difficulties. Anytime Enoch gets close to him and lands the punches, he gets wobbly. But it's all about the finish instincts that I'm looking for from Enoch. There goes the bell, and he senses danger.
Well, as we get ready to get into the 3rd round of the bout, the boxers will have a go at each other, observing closely. As Sam Nanagold coming up with a few of the technical know-hows, and of course what he's observed so far from these 2 boxers. I'm not too sure whether he will have some kind words for a boxer from the prison service, still living up to expectation, but Enoch clearly in the driving seat. The artistry of Ofoli has not worked to perfection so far. But Sam, again, from what you've noticed of the 2 boxers, and then given the pedigree of these 2, we have seen Enoch Tetteh in action, and of course Ofoli seems to be, in my humble opinion, struggling a bit with the fight.
Yeah, of course. Enoch Tetteh is originally a super bantamweight. You recall at a point in time there was a banter for him to fight against the John Zille, but that fight couldn't materialize last year. I'm very hopeful that it will come on this year. So he has moved a notch higher to the featherweight division, where this fight is being fought at. And Ofoli Tetteh, this is his debut. But I think that for a debutant, he has acquainted himself fairly well. Just that Enoch is notches above him in terms of punching power, in terms of ring artistry, in terms of in-ring experience. But then what I can say is that whenever the beginning of the rounds, Ofoli is able to move very well, and when he is very mobile on his feet, it makes it difficult for Enoch to get at him. But then as the round wears on, he becomes a bit sluggish, and that is where after the first minute of every round, he slows down and he allows Enoch to come in. So that is what I've observed. What also I would say about Enoch is that Enoch is leaning too much on the slugging side. He should try and be a boxer puncher, because that is where his skills will come to bear. He's relying too much on power, and then when you come up against a more technically gifted boxer, you will find yourself in wonderland.
It's now more of a target practice. Ofoli being hit at will and at ease by Enoch Tetteh. Enoch Tetteh is in the white, black and red, the shorter of the two boxers. He's virtually having a field day. Bell goes for the end of the round. Of course, we have a couple of fight nights to go, so it will be early days yet to write them off. Of course, we also see some steady boxers emanate from the Ghana Prison Service, and so they are still a force to reckon with. Here we go, round 4 of a bout scheduled for 6, and it is the prison's officer Ofoli Tetteh in white. He's been able to stand on his feet so far, still keeps going. And I think one of the things from him that may upset this bout, if he's able to land a solid punch on his opponent Enoch. And of course, Enoch is moving around quite a bit. Has been the predator since the first round. He's still keeping his punches steady, Enoch, as he comes forward. And maybe, Sam, like you rightly said, again, the experience of Enoch probably also helping him out in this regard. Right from the round 1, he's been putting pressure on his opponent, Ofoli. Ofoli has not been too resolute in terms of his fight back ability, as it were. And I'm sure maybe it's also because he's tasting professionalism for the very first time. But technique from round 1 has been to go in, and then when he gets very heavy and quite unstable for him, he goes in for the clinch. I'm not too sure whether he can build a lot of momentum from that tactic.
Yeah, he also has a few veteran tricks up his sleeve, Ofoli Tetteh. You know, whenever they go into a clinch, he tends to wrap his hands over the neck of Enoch. You know, and then you saw one right there trying to hide behind his shoulder. You know, some veteran tricks from a debutant. I'm very sure he has been in the game for long. Just that probably he didn't have the chance to turn professional. I'm sure, because he's rated to be around 26 years of age, Ofoli. So I'm sure he's been in the game, but then he wasn't too keen on fighting professionally because he was in the forces. But you know, this is why we have to laud the organizers of the Ghana Professional Boxing League, bringing all these officers out from their barracks to come out under the bright lights and showcase what they are made of.
Well, back in the day, the Ghana Prison Service had an active boxing regimen for both professionals and amateurs. And for those of you who physical training and sports of the Ghana Army, the director of Army Training, here with us tonight to take a look at how the boxers fare in the Ghana Premier League. Here we go. Still action to come. We are in round 5. It's scheduled for 6. And it's Ofoli Tetteh of the Ghana Prison Service in the white trunks against his opponent Enoch Tetteh. Obviously not from the same family, are they?
No, I'm not too sure about that. Prince, I see a mouse on the left eyebrow of Ofoli Tetteh. That probably has been a result of a repeated landing of an overhead right from Enoch Tetteh. I've seen that shot a couple of times, and I think that is one shot that Enoch should really work on. Anytime he throws, 9 out of 10 he lands, and he landed one just right there. That has ended up in a bit of a mouse or a welt on the left eyebrow of Ofoli Tetteh. But Ofoli has good. He doesn't really have too much of offensive skills, but he's able to survive in there.
Oh, he was nearly punched out of the ring. Richard Garter says, let's keep it going. Good shot there from Enoch. And again, playing the praying mantis as he puts pressure on Ofoli. Ofoli goes in for the clinch. Let's also pay homage to one of Ghana's finest in terms of boxing officials. He's departed into the church triumphant. Fred Garte was one of the finest that we ever produced for Ghana boxing. It is refreshing to see his son, Richard Garte, as the center referee in this bout. Good exchanges once again. And Ofoli doing well, putting the pressure, looking for that uppercut. And then he goes in for the clinch. He has to come out with something spectacular to keep himself in the bout. But at round 5, and the way things are going, it looks like the confidence of Enoch also has a telling effect on the fight.
Prince, the army officer went to negotiate a clinch with a civilian. Boxing indeed.
And the final round.
It's out of this world. The chanting, the singing, the marching, the vivacity and the verb. So palpable, audacious, and tangible.
So here we go, is the 6th and the last round. Featherweight contest between Ofoli Tetteh of the prison service in white trunks and Enoch Tetteh from the Bridge boxing gym.
But Prince, regardless of the scores at the end of this bout, I think that Ofoli Tetteh can really do better. He should just work on his footwork and stamina, and also that jab. If he's able to get those things in place with a very good counter right, he would be a very, very good featherweight. Looking at his size and his height, if he's able to work on his footwork very well, his stamina, and also that jab, he would be a very, very credible featherweight coming forward.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, despite the fact that he may not have that power punch, oh, he takes one in the face. And then quickly goes in for the clinch. Ofoli tries to open up once again. But it looks like there's careful monitoring from the corner of Enoch. They're just telling him to bid his time. Just a couple of seconds remaining for the fight to end. And clearly, his ringcraft have shown, and he lands a jab to the chin of Ofoli. Ofoli says, I'm still here. And then he goes in for the clinch. Both boxers nearly going out of the ring.
And Prince in the corner of Ofoli Tetteh, I just spotted national super welterweight champion Musa Rahman Lawson, the man known as senior award that day, in the corner of prison officer, fellow prison officer Ofoli. And I don't know what happened, but Enoch finds himself on the canvas.
Yeah, obviously not a knockdown or a knockout. He's up on his feet, and referee Garte said that did not warrant the mandatory 8 count. Well, the corner of prison service, like you rightly said, has got some prominent individuals there, including the national champion. But obviously, I think they would have to do a lot more, and I tend to agree with you that with a couple more fights, we could see the best out of Foley.
Sure, he is able to survive. So if he's able to work on that jab, I remember there was one fight between Ike Bazooka Quarte and Jose Luis Lopez, and Ike Quarte was said to have fought that fight just with his jab, you know. So I believe that if Ofoli is able to work on his jab very well, it might as well take him places. And the bell goes for the end of the fight.
Once again, shall we put your hands together for the two pugilists? Now we have the verdicts. Judge 1, Daniel Ablemete, scored about 54-60. Judge 2, Nete, scored about 54-60. And judge number 3, Nikwe Kote, scored about 53-60. So by a unanimous point decision, presenting to you the boxer who is also known to be called Bukom Rock Enoch Tetteh. Thank you very much, Enoch. Charlie Tetteh. Man, I don't know why. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, how do you feel? No one fighting, no winning. How do you feel? Me feel
okay.
Okay?
Me feel okay.
O feel okay, ona. E wa mini yomo yoka ha o fancy ni kwebu mane.
Me ba me fight le screen to ma stop ni go ko le. Issue e shi shane. Oh, Benito ni mafia.
She have one. Yo, ni jobo. So very well. Enoch says that he's very excited. Over there, no money.
Mi Bernard Ankran aka killer. Nega ne eka me blow wa me to ma discipline le wa me to le amofia mo to mi to ma discipline le wa.
Oh Enoch. If you can turn a discipline bo. Me no yomo yo kan le.
O fe mi feel de shi boxing weight ak e wo me no super bantam. Alo bantam weight. E wo ke e feel like ba nye fe weight le. Okay, wo ba no. Ka wo so wo no next 2 weeks le.
Bole, e can wait no, ko ba no fi wait emebo.
Ishegbe wait ne ba you man can fly wait to ni wait no fi no ga fe me to ma chile wa ka me block e che wa.
Oh me na febo.
E ka me block e che wa ka e ba yimi. Enya nyoni, she need 10 professional no enyemi. Ele ni o enyo. No bia na me to ma chile ne na ka me cha me nyele.
Me ne ba ne bo ngba ina naka.
O fe mi je lele ya ke e ba yi shi mi anu kwale ke ba nye fe so bantam with next week sele wo ba no.
Thank you very much. Shall we put hands together for the two boxes? So that is the beauty of boxing. He is calling the brag of his opponent. Enoch says that is more than ready.